What's up, guys? Welcome back to Esk8 Exchange, the show where we talk about MBoards, electric skateboards, and...
Oh, I don't remember it. You remember. That's not my job to remember. You're supposed to... No, I'm waiting for it.
Oh, okay. Come on. Really just the Esk8 industry as a whole.
There it is.
I'm Mike Beard. If this is your first episode, man, you've missed like 86 or 7 of them at this point.
86? So, 87. 87 was the last one.
I think this week's 87. Yeah. Pretty sure this week's number 87. Jacob, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so the world's been crazy the last few days. It's just everything's been wild, but we've got a great show all about electric skateboards, so hopefully you can kind of, get away from the madness of the world and just sit for half an hour and just enjoy good old two dudes who pretend like they know what they're talking about.
No politics
on a Saturday, and it's crazy. Everything's crazy. Okay, so the way that we start our show, again, if you're just joining us for the first time, is just, I'm assuming everyone's a first-time viewer, even though I know you are, most of our people watch us every week, so that's cool. But anyway, we're gonna start off with MBoards updates. This is just to get us out of the way. If you follow our company closely, then here you go. So we have just released the MBoards / or times or buy, whatever you want to call it, Kindboard Veloce. It's a full build, man. Like, this thing's awesome. So it's pretty much... It's like an Interstellar or Endurance, right?
Right.
Combination with Kindboard.
But like a little beefier.
A little bit, but yeah.
A little chunkier.
Definitely.
It's a big deck. So
it is a big deck. So there we go. So there's what it looks like.
We're looking at 40 inches overall.
Lengthwise,
yeah, lengthwise.
It's wide.
And 10.5, almost 11.
Almost 11, nice.
It's a big girl. There's some wide sections. We've kind of worked with Adam over at Kindboard. You guys have heard us talking to him before. We've done a few redesigns on this. So one of them was we had some issues getting 7-inch tires. And so he kind of worked with us a little bit on the neck and on the shoulder. So now we can successfully run 7-inch tires on the normal width Nexus trucks. We had built a couple of them. They were on some really wide trucks. And it looks cool, but it's like, it was super overboard. And they were just, these trucks were huge. I think they were 21 across, just like stock RKP. So we wanted to get away from that. So now we have the full build. Not only do we have the full build, we were previously sort of locked in on his enclosures. We told him we need new enclosures because the batteries it wasn't good enough. So now we have better options that are a little more standard. So from your basic 12.4 or smaller, I guess, if you really want it smaller, all the way up to the double stack 14.8 would be sort of the standard.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some other configurations, 16, 18, 20.
Have we talked about the new double stack enclosure yet?
Well, we haven't because we haven't actually seen it yet.
That's true.
So I would like to see one. And
so what we can talk about, we're working on it.
We are. Yeah.
So forever, I've been kind of avoiding doing a 12S 8P version of the Interstellar. I just think the enclosure is just chunky as fuck. I mean, it's just fat. Like, I just don't know if I necessarily love the way that it looks, but I mean, the customer is always right.
Our goal was to have, a very value price board, and at $1,500, that's what it does.
Yeah.
But
there's people who want to take it one notch further, and
apparently
I respect
we're known for that now. We just go farther. Going far.
Go
for
far.
Range. Yeah, just go far, man.
Just stick a lot of batteries in a small space.
Throw a shit ton of batteries at it and see what happens.
So we are working on an Interstellar enclosure that's double stacked. So for anyone who wants Interstellar with a 12S 8P, it will be possible soon. And that enclosure really is actually being made for the Kindboards. But
yeah, it's going to work.
But we're just using the same footprint as the Interstellar, so it kind of has a dual use. Because the Kindboards, they're blank. We can drill any holes in them we want. The enclosure physically fits it. Actually doesn't look bad on it at all. It almost looks like we designed it for it.
And we can use the gasket, and we can drop a heat sink. We can make this thing look super clean, whereas before it had a Kydex enclosure. Those are the Tommy Boy enclosures. Again, they work, but they were just sort of a weird size. They weren't made for this deck. So although the new one's not made for this deck, it fits a hell of a lot better.
It fits really nice.
And then I think we're also going to release a little bit of a DIY kit. So the Interstellar deck with the enclosure.
Yep.
Because why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Deck enclosure. You guys are still building your own shit, which is cool.
Yeah.
And man, Joe can have a vacation, I guess. You guys can build your own boards.
So that's a new addition.
I would say Black Friday-ish. I think we're very close to getting it in hand.
Yeah, I think so.
And you guys know us. We like to put out new products on Black Friday.
We do.
Along with our sales. So we'll have a few new things.
Huge this year?
No. I do have one that I haven't told you about yet that I want to do. So
okay.
We'll talk about.
Okay, cool.
Should we talk about? No, I don't want to talk about it now.
Yeah, you never know.
Next week.
Another thing we've been working on is the MBoards Tool Hub. So right now we've just pushed it live on our website. It's pretty much we're just filling in some blanks for a lot of guys.
I just thought of a bad joke, like the Tool Hub. I'm like, oh, that's just Joe's phone book.
Yeah. Okay. Anywho, back to what we were talking about. Okay, so the Tool Hub is pretty much just like we're trying to fill in the gaps for all these calculators because trying to figure out like the math behind Esk8, which probably honestly deserves its own video, is like a series, really.
And geniuses.
Yeah, apparently. So anyway, so on our website, we've got this whole area with a bunch of different calculators, including belt length calculator, let me read my own thing, watt hour calculator, battery charge time, Esk8 range calculator, which is beta right now because that is, and it will always
beta needs the data.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the range calculator will always be a generalization because there are just like an infinite number of variables that go into calculating range, and we're just not going to get into that. But we can get it. It gets
like
pretty
a car,
close.
right? On paper, it says one thing, and then you actually go drive it. Does anybody actually do the math? Why are Esk8ers so pretentious? We have to do the math every single time we go ride. Oh my God, I did 42 watt hours per mile and I only went 11 miles in my I'm like, did you have fun? Yeah, dude, the ride was great. Good.
Okay, go charge up, bro.
Go charge the motherfucker and keep going.
But anyways,
digress.
When I plug my information into this calculator, I get generally what I get on a board. So I think it works the same thing for you, and we'll see.
And it's funny is my math is typically because of my size. I've been able to sort of know that I'm about 20% off usually. It's right where we came up.
Yeah.
So,
and then finally a speed calculator. That one is accurate. That one does work because that's literally just straight up math. Obviously loaded. You can. It's probably a couple mile per hour difference, but it will give you the correct what your remote should show you.
If your air pressure is wrong, it could be off 2 miles an hour.
But otherwise, it is pretty correct. But here's a good. Here's just a good close up of each of the calculators. The belt length calculator is so useful, really useful.
And I think we're not like taking credit that we created this by any means. There's definitely some versions online.
Yeah.
The problem is, right, you need a belt calculator. It takes you to one website, and then you want a calculator for this. You have to go to a different website.
Right.
So they're like all over. And then we've had a couple of them that disappeared. One that I used for a very long time. All of a sudden, the website started working. So I was like, all right, man, this would be cool. Can we do this? Can we just make it so simple for people that they can't fuck it up?
Yeah, like, exactly.
If you fuck this up, come on, man.
So we got a belt length calculator. We've got our battery watt hour calculator, which is very, very simple. And you can even go as far as like switching modes and being able to just base it off of like a single cell if you want to. Battery charge time calculator, which is very, very straightforward. The Esk8 range calculator is actually derived off of the one that Hoyt made. I don't know if they were original to them, but we kind of base it off of their calculator on their website. They had it where we pretty much use the same rules. Like, I'm not going to say that we came up with all of it. We definitely looked at their calculator because like when you just Google it, theirs comes up. So I'm like, all right, let me see what they got. Google. And I just felt like that the questions that they asked were actually pretty good. So we took it one step further. We altered the math a little bit to, I think, make it work. Maybe better, maybe worse. I don't know. But the way that they had it set up was you could select like which one of their boards, and it's actually not even a full picture of all their board offerings. Right. It's just like whenever that calculator came out, there's like 2 different board options, and then it would tell you what range you would get on their board. Versus we took that out and you can put in your own watt hours.
Whatever you got,
and then it's a little bit more versatile. But anyways, I'll be straight up, and that is where the origins of that one came from. So I don't want anyone to like. I'm not claiming I invented that one, right? But I did kind of reverse engineer the way that it works and derived their math off of it, and then kind of made a few tweaks. So hopefully that doesn't make them mad.
You're telling me this now, bro. Somebody's gonna hit me and be like, "You asshole! Like, I have no idea what you're talking about."
But I also take full responsibility if you get the wrong range results because that's
yeah. And if you do, let us know.
Yeah. We'll adjust it.
That helps us adjust. So we've had a couple friends. They just, hey man, here are my last couple rides, and they send us the data, and it's like, oh, this is really good. Thank you, and we use that to kind of offset things and look at what we're doing.
So you can enter your battery watt hour capacity, your rider weight, your ambient temperature, average riding speed, riding style, type of terrain, average traffic, and wheel choice, which is literally...
Bro, are we supplying people magnifying glasses to be able to read that screen?
I think you can. I'm pretty sure I can read it on an even smaller version of my phone, so I think you can read it. We'll see. Well, but, if you can't read it, go to the website and play with it. It's on our main
it's there.
It's on our main page.
Use it. Mess with it.
And then we've got the Esk8 speed calculator, which is it'll look very similar to what people use already, but it works really well. It's very simple and it works like immediately. So that's cool. Okay, so there goes that. Moving on to Esk8 news. Okay, dude, this one we looked at this thing yesterday.
The thing,
and you'll see.
Okay,
we don't highlight other companies too much. We kind of try to keep it like internal a little bit, community based. So
our homies. Our friends.
But we just have to talk about it because it's like, I think this is like the coolest charger on the market, bro.
You got me. Yes.
And I have my opinion on it and I'll talk about it in a second, but let's just look at it for a second together. So this is a X-Way charger, right? It's 1,050 watts. And I'm like, what does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
But then you keep reading and like the stats here, dude. So it's got advanced charging, which automatically, this is only, at least this function, I believe only works for X-Way boards, but it automatically detects the voltage and what current it's supposed to apply to all of their boards.
Smarter than most of our customers. I mean, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. No, they're customers. That's why they're having
removable output port, which is really cool because then I think that opens it up to the DIY world. I don't know for sure. Greatly reduces size and weight, so it's 40% smaller. Full color LCD display. A global edition, which I just think means
it'll different plug ports.
Yeah, it can input 110 to 220 volts input. It has intelligent cooling. There's an app that goes with it.
Do you think there's like a little person in there that's like,
probably?
I'm gonna watch the cooling.
I think that's really how it goes. I think they just the alien ship them with people.
The little aliens from Men in Black.
There you go.
Guy. He was cool.
He just hangs out in there. But anyway, it's very, very cool. And then this is what the thing looks like.
Wicked. It's got
a screen on it, man.
For your charger.
It's crazy, but it's really cool because you can set like max like voltages. So if you only want to charge your board to 80%, you could, which is really cool. Or slowly charge it or whatever, trickle charge it. Very cool. Okay, now here's the caveat to this thing. Drum roll for the price. Boop. It is $500.
Dun, dun, dun.
So
insert sound effect.
I actually do think it's probably worth the price, given that you have so much control over your board, especially for the guys who are spending a lot of money on their batteries. Yeah. To be able to have that control, I think is really cool. But it's wild to think that you can buy a charger on X-Way's website for more money than like several boards that they offer. Yeah. Which is just insane to me.
Imagine that. You bought a $300 board and a $600 charger.
Right.
I would love that as a trade-in. If you have one of those, please trade that in.
I'll trade you in for a charger, dude, for sure. That charger, though, also, it goes from 10S to like 22S.
Yeah. Bonkers.
So it's like totally variable voltage. So like it'll work for pretty much everything. The question I don't know, and maybe you guys can help me on the comments, does it work for non-X-Way boards? I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's cool though.
Like I know there's one other review. RB Emotion just did a review. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
So okay. So I probably should have watched that before I brought this on.
No, I mean it literally like 2 days ago.
Okay.
You're kind of a busy dude.
Yeah. So, I don't watch a lot of. I don't. I'm a little disconnected more than I would like to be.
I don't watch a lot of YouTube, honestly. Yeah. It's. I mean, I've said this before, but I don't even watch these episodes. I watch clips. I still don't watch the episodes. I mean, you have to edit it, but even at that, I'm like, I know that was a great show. Somebody bring it up. I'm like,
the editing involves me throwing an intro on and then trimming it and throwing the outro on. So I really don't.
It just goes really. All I hear is blah, 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 blah,
because I edit live. Ready? Boop 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 boop. See, I don't have to edit anything. It's just live. Yeah, there you go. But I think so. $500 for this charger, I think is probably worth
500.
it.
Yeah, not 600. Sorry.
But I think they would like. Obviously, they're selling it at that price probably because they have to. But like if that price ever can get down to the $200 range, I think they'd sell a lot of them. I think $500, fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
I think $500 is just a bit too much for the vast majority of people.
It's a tough question.
That's a tough one to do,
because
man. That stings at $500.
Honestly, like I just want a charger that I know isn't going to blow up my house.
Right.
So
the app is like cool, but I would never really need it.
Yeah, like if this charger says, look, like I'm gonna guarantee you no fires and all this like safety stuff. Okay, it's telling me it's got these like features, but does anybody know what that actually means?
It does say safety certificate, FCC, and blah 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 whatever. So I don't know.
But does that guarantee? You know, like I just still. That is what is the bigger, more important question to consumers overall.
Right.
The baseline is that they just want a charger that works and isn't going to light a fire in their house. Right. Okay, from there, sure. You want to get silly wicked, snag one of these, dude. These things are gnarly.
They are really cool.
I mean, yeah, it is a good question. Is it just for X-Way?
I think to me
it says all X-Way models, which is interesting because that would mean.
This thing's capable of outputting 20 amps, by the way. Right. It's a 20 amp charger, but they claim that
it's smart.
Smartly, it'll know that, oh, this is a 10-2 little, hub motor board. I'm only going to dump 3 amps into it. I don't know how it does that.
Freaking awesome.
And if they've had the forethought and putting like decent BMSs and everything, like I don't know how they did it.
I said this yesterday, and this would be like a good what's it, like unpopular opinion or whatever.
Oh, we haven't done one of those in a while, actually.
Should I save it?
No, you send it, dude.
Okay.
What do you got?
It's X-Way is a better company than MBoards.
Okay. Would you like to expand on that?
That's super loaded. Okay, that's very loaded.
How about
So yeah, there's a lot to expand on, but I look at like the products that X-Way comes out with. I look at sometimes their direction's a little crazy, they get a little over the top, but like I feel like what they're putting out is genuine original shit. Albeit some of their components are shared, but like I don't know. There's just something about them that
to me, I think
it just stands out to me.
I don't know if I'd like to use the word better, but I do think the X-Way's product line is the most cohesive,
or more refined.
Yeah, it's like it looks very end product.
Yeah, they look good, man. Their stuff looks good. Not all of it, but. Yeah, some of the, but it's just not my cup of tea. That's why I say not all of it. But like, I feel like the things that they've done with the community, they've done a lot of races. Mm-hmm. They've put on a lot of these races. They're very focused on doing a lot of those things. They have race groups. They have teams throughout the world. They've got this Canada team that shows up for Esk8 every year. So I just I look at X-Way as more of a complete company. Maybe that would have been a better way to do it. And I'm surprised that there maybe just isn't as much credit given to them. They're not talked about as much because they're Chinese, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it's everybody is at this point. Like all the electric saber companies are based out of China at this point.
Yeah.
So it's not like like that is the like. It's not like that makes them different compared to everybody else. Like what makes us different is that we're in America. That's what makes us different from all the rest of them. You could kind of argue that with Evolve as well. Yeah. But otherwise, everybody.
I'd be interested to know what their volume compared. But
so that's the difference, I think, is MBoards has got the volume, dude. They are pushing tons of boards, and that's what they're really good at. Just the sheer volume of boards, they're perfect at that.
Oh, I have it.
Kieran has locked that down.
I actually have an Esk8 news I just thought about.
Okay.
Since that was like a new, we just kind of threw that one in.
Yeah, sure.
But so I heard, and this may be more Esk8 rumor.
Okay. So don't take it.
All right. Yeah. So maybe there's some more research, but it just it hits me when I'm in the show. I got to talk about it. The Backfire Nalu.
Yeah.
The new Backfire, right? I almost bought one of these the other day because I was like, this thing's just cool. It's got to be cool. It just looks fun.
Yeah.
And I found it very interesting that they were running these flat packs.
Yeah,
right. We were like, kind of bringing back the old tech.
Yeah.
99 watt hour sounds kick ass.
Right.
Apparently they're lighting on fire.
Oh no,
they're going up in fire. Yep. So the 99, that, right? It's going away, and everybody's getting shipped a higher watt hour battery, whether you like it or not. That's just what you get. Can no longer go on an airplane.
Yeah. So that sucks.
And they're just kind of saying,
That is a news section that should have made it to the show.
Now, maybe there's a whole lot. Yeah, so that's fairly new. So maybe we can.
So that's the only reason why I was even looking at that board. Is to travel with it.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to actually impact their sales quite a bit.
It's just
they need to find another 99 watt-hour option.
That was the one, but I mean, you just can't do it with our traditional cells. It's with and stuff.
Unfortunately, hitting 99 watt-hours exactly is actually very difficult because of just the way like the voltages that we're working with. Yeah. Like you'd have to hit the capacity very, very close to get it to 99 watt-hours. God
forbid you get caught lying on your battery. Do not do that. Do not try to ship a 12S 12P and put a sticker on it that says 99 watt-hours. It's not cool, bro.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that shit.
All right, are you guys ready? We haven't had one of these in a long time. I have to reach all the way over here for a special button, though. Yes. Let's go.
Man, I miss this song.
Guys, we haven't. So if you don't know why that song is hilarious, you haven't been watching long enough.
Go back to about episode 25.
We have another one, but it's okay. I like the OG, man. I like the funny one
that's a good one.
But anyways, we have a badass build of the week, guys. We haven't had one in a long time. If you would like to submit your badass build of the week, go to the link down in the description below. You can fill out the form, submit pictures of your board, and maybe we will roast it on our show later.
Some simple rules too.
We should do a roast my build segment, dude.
Yes.
Oh, that's even better. Write it down. Everybody, remind me. Can someone message me on Instagram?
Yeah. What was the timestamp?
It was approximately 20 minutes in or so.
We're good. We'll forget that.
So if someone could message me on Instagram, remind me, that'd be great.
Simple rules though, right? We ask questions for a reason. Please answer all of the questions.
Oh, for Badass Build of the Week.
Certain amount of pictures that we ask you to submit.
We need them for the show.
Certain angles and things. I need it for the show.
I can't just talk about it. I got to show it.
Tell me in one long paragraph all about your board. I'm just going to be like, dude, I have no idea what this guy's talking about. And then I get like 3 pictures of your remote and like riding with your helmet. I'm like, I'm not putting that on the show, bro. I just want to see what we asked for so that way we can submit it. If you don't put it in there, we're not going to submit your board.
Sorry, guys. Here's this. Ready?
We get a lot of
these. We know this. This is Andy, man. We actually built this board.
Andy Z.
So we are going to do. So the story is I originally had a Lycon TRX 2.0, which rip Lycon, right? They're out, right?
Bye-bye.
Yep. The motor mount snapped on me in the middle of a ride in downtown LA traffic, and I wanted a better board. So you guys built the Super Spine, and I have done some modifications to it, and that's the story.
Killer. See, thank you for the story, Andy.
There's a story, brief and to the point. Here are the specs. Are you ready? So it's got an MBoards 6485 reacher motors.
Yeah.
14S7P Molla.
Is he running 173 kV on his or 205?
I can't be sure.
Yeah,
we'll have to look it up into the records. Super Spine chassis, Maker X D100, a modded VX4, a Stooge open gear drive gears. That seems a little redundant. I wrote that. My bad.
Good job, Mike.
Lin Power race wheels. So
which that like comes with an asterisk because he did start.
He did swap the wheels.
Novas.
He did start. We did build it with Novas. Well, I'll make sure everyone knows.
I've seen him. He still runs them.
But anyways, so this is this dude. So Andy's young. I think I think he's 17 now. Maybe he's 16. Is he still 16?
Older than that, but I don't know. I hung out with him for a whole weekend and never asked. We took him to a titty bar. We got him drunk. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't do that. No, but that would have been funny. His mom would have killed us.
But he is young. Like he's a kid. He's a kid, and he's in high school. But you know what though? He is really like dove. I don't know. Anyway, he's really dived into the sport.
Jumped in feet first.
And he's been racing. He raced at Esk8 Con. He did very well. I think I actually raved about him all during the Esk8 Con recap episode. So if you'd like to listen to that, go ahead. But anyways, beautiful board, man. Like, and we can't take credit for it. It's mostly the Super Spine. Like Mo did a great job on this. Build or version or whatever you want to call
it. Joe did the assembly.
Joe did assembly. I mean, this is Mo's minor work mostly.
Yeah. We had to add a few things.
We did the internals really, but otherwise,
really good in there
it's too. Really nice. Andy took great pictures, of course, because I think he's got a photo background.
Yeah.
So he did awesome pictures on that. But this dude, he like commutes on this thing. Like not fully, but he rides it. It's his daily driver. Yeah. It's not just his race board, which despite telling him that wasn't necessarily the best idea, he's like, "Nah, dude, I'm doing it."
He just sends it. He goes.
I'm like, "All right, dude." So. Like he he
He's
doesn't
a good
really care.
kid. Yeah,
He's cool. Really
I spent
nice.
the weekend with him in San Francisco. I think
Oh,
that was
you did. That's right.
his first weekend, I want to say. I think first official race weekend that he did. He had been doing a bunch of the intro to speeds.
Okay. That was
So
before Esk8?
No, after.
Oh,
Esk8.
after Esk8.
Like this, yeah,
okay.
this was what, 2 months ago or a month
Yeah,
ago or
yeah,
something
yeah,
when I was
okay,
up there with
okay.
James.
Gotcha.
So that was super fun, man, and watching him race, he's fast and he's got fucking balls, which is funny. So yeah, like he was pushing it. He actually rode James's endurance in like the stock class.
Okay.
He got smoked, but he was having a great time. He had his Beyond jacket open, all like flailing in the wind. And he's like, so he comes in, I go, Andy, bro, you got to zip up your jacket, dude. He goes, why? I go, cause man, you kind of look like a putt. He goes, bro, I look cool. And I was like, Andy, what are you talking about? I said, you were a dead ass last place. Like almost got lapped. Ain't nobody watching you, bro. Zip your jacket up. He goes, all right, I'll zip it up on the next lap. So he's next time out. He zips
cool.
it up.
He's funny because he takes
funny.
the shit super well.
Yeah,
So he's funny.
He's such a good dude.
Anyways,
He's gonna be fast in a couple.
He
years.
will,
Like,
absolutely. He will.
He needs to put on some muscle, and he'll kind of get some stamina. And I mean, he's not scared to go fast. So
No, that's
I don't
half
think
of it.
that's
The
an
mental
issue.
game is seriously half of it.
He's on his Meepo flow, and he's like does 40 miles an hour on a little short board.
Jeez, dude,
I'm like,
that's
all right,
crazy.
well, on street wheels, I'm like, see it.
All right,
not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah.
It is officially cold out, man. We're wearing hoodies. You're not. You're wearing your little vesty guy
puffy,
here.
But
It's cold, so a lot of us, not us in Vegas, we are blessed with a winter full of riding, I guess. But I know a lot of y'all back east, a lot of y'all up in Canada. You guys,
I've seen snow in Colorado.
Yep, you guys your riding season's over, so perhaps the show is the most e-skating you kind of get to do really for the winter. But we wanted to talk about winterizing your boards. I actually made an entire video on this 4 years ago. So if you want to have a fun laugh, go to our MBoards channel and just search like storing your board for the winter, and you'll get to see me 4 years ago, a little skinnier, a little less well spoken. But yeah,
why did you speak so much better back then? You were so perfect. I feel like
no, I feel like I'm better now.
Oh, you think so now?
I think so now, but
man.
perhaps
All right.
perhaps
Well,
I'm not. I'm
gonna do a comparison video.
Okay.
with the fans. I'm gonna say what do y'all think.
We want to talk about though, quick in 30 seconds or so, what they should do to store their board properly for the winter.
Yeah.
So mainly, it's like
Charge it to 100%. Put it outside in the snow, and you'll be fine.
I thought you were serious for a second.
He's like,
I was like, hold on.
And just leave it outside. You'll be totally fine.
So the main thing is though, for real though, you should charge it to about 60%, 50 to 60%. That's kind of like a good sweet spot there. You don't want to store it dead because if your battery starts draining over the winter,
it goes fast.
It goes the ending towards the bottom of that voltage. There's not a lot of capacity left. So when it goes very fast. You also don't want to charge it at 100% because that's adds extra strain to your cells unnecessarily. So about 60% is where you should put it. You don't want to leave it in the garage where it's freezing. You don't want to leave it outside where it can be, get into contact with moisture.
Sure.
So try to find a spot in your house in a closet somewhere that's room temp, like temperature controlled. And then you want to check on it, guys. Don't leave it there for 4 months straight. Like you're just asking for problems.
If you really love your board that much,
if you don't care, send it, dude. Whatever.
From what we can tell, and all
if you're watching this show, you love your board.
Guys are extremely into Esk8, right? So don't pull something stupid and just disappear for 4 months.
It is beyond me.
Get you a nice wall mount, clean your board, put it like we got a customer that keeps his boards in his closet. In his own closet, like that's where he stores them. They hang on a rack, like next to his clothes.
Like he just shoves all the clothes into a dresser. Like my board's going in the closet, man.
Oh man, dude, like that's serious.
Do not just put your board away for 4 months and then come back to it and be like, "What? My battery's dead. It's at 0 volts. How can I save this?" It's like, guys, you got just every 2 weeks. It takes 10 minutes to turn your board on, turn the remote on, look at the screen if that's all you have. And just make sure you got a few bars, right?
We only kind of talked battery, but there's some other things I think we should also sort of cover, like bearings.
Sure.
Don't leave your bearings for 4 months. Yep. Service them before you put your board away.
Oh, good idea.
Clean them, lube them up, because if they were not so bueno before you put your board away or you happen to get it wet the last time you rode, that is going to sit in there for 4 months.
Right.
And those things are
And your
going to
bearings
locked
will
up.
be gone.
Then you may as well, then you just have to replace them. So if you don't intend on doing that,
I think most people
shit.
treat themselves to a freshy set of bearings before they
I don't think they do. I think they wait until the beginning. I think they wait, and I think
wait to the beginning of the season.
Of the next season.
Yeah.
But that means like from the end of one to the beginning of the next, they don't do anything. They wait until the beginning. So it's like your board sat for 4 months and you didn't touch it.
Oh, right.
Whereas the last day you think you ride, service it. Yep. Okay, dang, I didn't realize it was going to be my last one. It's 2 weeks later. That's still fine. Go service your shit. It's better than it sitting there for 4 months or 3 months, whatever, unattended, just like the battery. So like that's a good time to like, or every couple weeks, do something on it. Check the battery. Check the air pressure in your urethanes.
I would say like every 2 weeks, check your battery's level, and then maybe like once a month, you should just turn it on, zing up the motors. We kind of call it exercising the battery a little bit. Like let the battery do something versus just sit there.
Yeah.
You can argue about whether or not that helps or not, but maybe if you can find like a clean day where there's it's dry out, like go rip it around like a mile or something.
It's really nice that if you do shut your board off, that after 4 months, it's not one of those, I hope it turns on.
Right, you'll know.
If you turn it on every couple of weeks, at least you know it works.
Yeah, and then if you do realize that your battery's getting low, you can plug it in. You can plug it in.
Yeah.
So that's good. Speaking of your bearing thing, though, we've had this. You guys would be amazed at the Instagram messages we get. So I just want to reiterate that WD-40 is not an appropriate lubrication for bearings. So speaking of just this whole thing, WD-40 is honestly an absolute shit lubricant for pretty much everything, but it does clean really well. So you can use it to clean things, but I honestly wouldn't, outside of a squeaky door, wouldn't use it for pretty much anything else ever.
No.
We like clean glass with it sometimes on the CNC machine. That's pretty much it.
Something to really think about if you're really into bearings and you're really into bearing grease and you want to pay attention, stay away from anything petroleum-based. Petroleum-based destroys your rubber seals.
Yes, that's true.
It destroys and it will fuck up your plastic hubs and your urethane wheels because that's all plastic. You stay away from petroleum-based, and 90% of the stuff on the market is petroleum-based. So if you're using a sealed bearing, right, the metal shielded, okay, you obviously cannot service those. I don't particularly care what's inside of them.
Right.
But when you can remove the shields and you're doing service, you got to stay away from petroleum-based lubricants. Please.
Absolutely.
They destroy bearings.
Can we talk about another story that we've got now a couple times? I feel like we've talked about this before, but dude, again, we've had somebody talking about plugging their motors directly into their battery, dude. Again,
this was yesterday.
I know.
Holy shit.
So if you take two phase wires,
I think this is 2 in a year actually,
and you plug them into the positive and negative of your battery,
because you have a black and red wire.
What do you think? Your motor blows up, dude. It doesn't just spin like, I think people think it's just gonna spin unregulated.
Right.
'Cause I think that's probably what I would think
the
too.
The good one is though when you get the picture, because the battery is sitting there and the motor is connected and the flipping ESC is sitting right there with all of the right connectors.
They just wanted to bypass
and
it.
they just I don't understand what just happened. There was a puff of smoke. Everything is black now. What do I do?
So what I think people are doing is, I think the XT, like the female XT90, I wonder if that's 4mm and people just can't resist putting the 4mm bullets like into the connector because it just seems like it
colors. I think people just assume with electronics.
It's crazy.
Red goes to red, black goes to black all the time.
But like our motors don't have red and black, so I don't understand.
They have black.
Sure.
So that's a start. You're halfway there, bro.
But
you know what I mean? Like I don't know. There's no logic.
One,
I don't even ask why people did it. I don't.
You don't have to know why. You go, wow, that was dumb, and keep going.
I just can move forward and say, okay, well,
you're gonna need a new motor, brother.
You're gonna need a new motor. You're gonna need a new connector. You're probably gonna need a new this. Like,
yeah, you have to send your battery in to get repaired.
Here are your options, and then I'm the bad guy.
Yeah,
right?
dude,
because my options are not sufficient enough. Well, I just want you to fix it. I just told you how I was gonna fix it, bro. Like, come on.
It's crazy. So
didn't you read?
Like, I don't know how, like, because we're trying to like kind of go back to the basics. There are videos recently and like really do a lot of like the basic coverage, but it's like, how basic do we have to get? I don't know.
I don't know. We're on a little bit of customer service, so I'm gonna go on a quickie. But look, if I offer you a FaceTime call to fix your shit,
yes.
and you go on Facebook and say that they have terrible customer service, you can fuck off, dude. Like, that's not cool, man. I gave you your option. Like, don't do that. It's not cool.
It sounds like the dude's a little.
It's not
so
cool.
This
man.
happened
like,
recently, and I'm on it. Whatever.
It makes me upset because, like, I'm not going to go on Facebook and like drop all the screenshots and all that stuff.
No,
like,
we don't play that.
Just don't do it, man. I offered you a great option. I do this all the time. I probably take 10 FaceTime calls a week, and I
wonder how much money I've spent on FaceTime.
People's freaking vests up over the phone. Like, they share their screen with me, and I tell them, hit this button, change this number, do this. And that's after like 5 emails of it's broken. I want to send it back. They're so angry, and we fix it in 15 minutes. Like, we have a solution. If the solution does not work, I will replace it for you. Yep. Mike is going to replace it for you.
Yes,
like,
sir.
That's how
we replaced someone's
works.
ESC today. They walked in today.
He walked in. He said, this doesn't work. I said, let me take a peek at it. We tested it. Took about 10 minutes. I
sure
said,
enough.
You're right, dude. Doesn't
work.
Here you go. Here's a new one. He walked out the door with a tested one that I showed him worked and said, go have fun. Like, just don't do that to us. That's not cool. It's not cool to businesses. We're real people. These are real people answering your questions. I'm happy to answer anything.
And you guys don't need to be told this because you guys watching are chill. But when you see it online, it's so disheartening because, and you guys come to our defense, honestly. The Facebook comments are they always back us up. Like, because they know how we are. We know we do our absolute best.
But it just is annoying. It's just annoying. And
but we're not yelling at you guys. You guys are chill.
You guys are cool. But if you guys see it, like, you know, we've had a lot of you guys back us up on Facebook, which is really cool. We've seen some nasty comments. We stay away from it, but you guys have been like really cool. You supported us. Like, we appreciate that. We make mistakes, but we own up to it. We want to improve every day. That's why we come to work every single day.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is full time for us. So, you know, we don't sweat the negative comments here and there. We just keep focusing on earning positive ones.
Pretty funny. Like, I just can laugh because I'm like, if only people knew.
Some people are just loons, is what I'll say, and they're just it doesn't matter.
They're don't go down those rabbit holes.
They're just wild, and nothing will ever work for them because it's just doesn't matter. Usually, the end of our show, we talk about our upcoming events. So, here's a handful that are coming up. We've got Micromobility November 14th and 15th. By the time this comes out, it'll be like less than a week or so away.
Yeah, next weekend.
TEF November 26th. Again, AVS has been canceled. And then Esk8. Okay, so Esk8.
You know, I did see, TEF really quick.
Yeah,
turn the drums off.
Yep, okay.
TEF, I think, opened up a few extra slots because of the AVS cancellation. And so if you are seeing this, there may still be a couple spots open. The other day I saw that there was like 5 Esk8 slots. There was a few UC. There were a couple slots.
So don't get too excited.
Division.
Go check really quick.
Right. So I mean, maybe by now they're all gone. But if you still want in, and worst case, just message them. If you're 36 and they say no, like, come on, man.
If you're 36,
like if they're going to take 35 people and somebody says, hey man, I really want to come, and they're the 36th person. I think they should make it work for you. I hope they can.
I know we've had we've gone down that road before when we did the 100 original racers for Esk8. It sold out in like 36 hours or something. And then we added a third day, like to accommodate 50 more riders. So like, it's hard, so I get it. Like the scheduling and the track time is really hard to get. So like I get it, but hopefully they can kind of make it out, make that work. But anyways, AVS has been canceled. And then Esk8, we are in the final talks with our venue, so we're almost there. Yeah. Hopefully in the next like week or so, we'll have paperwork signed, and once it's signed, we can announce things. But until it's signed, we don't want to lead anyone down the wrong path or to book the wrong flights until then. And I know you guys need the dates to book, but it should be.
Looks like our dates are open that we're wanting. So we had 3 options. That was end of March, and then either one of the first 2 weekends. And it sounds like both venues are gonna allow us those weekends. So we're down to 2 venues. We have 2 places.
Yeah, and
we took a group of you guys to one of them. Over to the World Market Center. That's a big outdoor lot, and then the other location was
beautiful.
Over.
It's beautiful. Really cool. I hope that's where we're trying.
Really cool.
That's where we're trying to go.
We're shooting for. And the other location was over at the Rio. So the Rio was cool because it had like some perks to it, right? Like hotel was really close. You had restaurants. Like you could literally just walk down from your room, bring your board, and you're at the event site. So there were some cool features. They host the guys actually that we rent the track from. they host an event there coming up in like a week or two.
Yeah.
That we'll probably go check out. But so we knew they could handle it. It looked really cool. Again, it's an option, but
oh yeah,
God damn, they were expensive.
Oh, the Rio,
yeah.
Ugh.
So that's our kicker with them. We got to negotiate.
It's crazy to when you go from working with a like nonprofit like Llama Lot, it's a nonprofit.
Right.
When you go from renting from them to renting for a for-profit resort, holy shit, dude, the pricing gets out of control. But honestly, though, we need the bigger space. We can't go back to Llama Lot. It's too small for us.
No,
we want to be able to offer 2 tracks and expand our track
only
time.
Pay $5,000 a day again, but it is what it is.
Right. Yeah, right. So, anyways, it is what it is. We'll figure it out.
We'll make it work.
The money is
as
not
long
really
as
worried
you
about
guys
it. Show up, we can do everything.
And bring a friend. It should be like a +1 rule. Next year, maybe in 2026, you're not allowed to come unless you have a bring a friend.
You only can buy tickets in twos.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I'd almost give you your +1 for free if you showed up with somebody. But I mean, I know people would cheat the system.
Oh,
we'd have a lot of race teammates holding hands or something.
Yeah.
This is my baby.
So we'll see how it goes, but we're getting very, very close.
Tickets will be released.
Should be released on Black Friday. As long as we have our venue down. We have to have our venue first.
Okay, this week is should be. Let's see what next week is.
Yeah, this week we're going to say should be.
We're going to say should be released Black Friday like we did last year. And that will also include, are we going to do race slots right away? Because that means we need to have a schedule finalized too. That means we have a lot of work to do in about 2 weeks. We do.
We have a lot of work ahead of us.
So we'll definitely say that tickets will be available. Vendors will be able to get their spots. There's going to be maybe some other options you guys will see on this ticket page. We had a lot of requests for race teams or people in general to be able to set up a booth. Okay.
Like a VIP tent.
Right. So we're like sort of on the fence with this. Like it sounds like a really cool idea. We understand why you guys want to do it. You guys want some shade. But the reality is like it kind of doesn't look so good for the whole event when we have, all these vendors in a nice tight little spot. And then I just have like 20 random ass tents with people all over the place.
It gets tricky too because it undermines the vendors. So it's like what stops someone from just as a vendor grabbing $100 tent and just calling it a day.
Correct. So we want to find sort of an in-between. So what we would rather do is provide you guys with the tents in a designated area for the racers, for people that you want to store your board or whatever. Yeah. Like it's not going to maybe necessarily.
The good news is that is more of a later on decision. So we have time to iron that one out.
I just don't want people to get excited and start with, my race team wants a tent. If your race team wants a tent, then they need to be a vendor for the event, and they need to kind of follow all of the general things that the other vendors have, right? You have a product, you're some sort of service to the community, not just we're here to race. Again, we'll provide some tent. We'll provide a race location. We'll provide some shade. We know last year it got pretty gnarly, but we had some wind that day, so we're trying to find a much better solution to handle that. Heavier duty tents and things like that. So just trust in us, but Hey,
this will be year number 4.
Yeah.
4. So each iteration has just gotten.
Go back and watch videos from year 1.
Dude, it's crazy. From year 1 to year 2 and then year 2 to year 3, I feel like the iteration is, we're starting to learn how to put an event together, and it's starting to get pretty decent.
I mean, we're 3 months ahead of where we were last year. Last year, we didn't confirm our venue until end of January.
Sure? Oh.
Yeah, because they couldn't do it until the end of the year.
That's true.
They couldn't even tell us yes.
Llama Lot.
I thought it was 6 weeks.
They let us know that, the date's available, but they refused to book it.
I swear it was 6 weeks, dude.
They refused. And then the thing is with the Llama Lot too is they will only they approve our permit 2 weeks before.
We announced Black Friday without actually knowing.
Yeah, that's true. And this year we're not doing that this time.
We didn't really know that was where we were going.
Yeah,
I mean, we had done it, I guess, the year before, but
mostly I think most of y'all wouldn't care if we didn't know the exact venue because we know it's going to be in Vegas.
You're going to be here.
So it's probably better that we just see. I don't want to we can't pick our date yet because I don't want to I don't want to lose half of our options for venues because that date's not available, and we could just shift it one weekend and have that spot.
Yeah.
So we just have to wait for paperwork to be done, and then we can do it.
Yes.
But we're almost there. We're almost there.
Be
Almost there.
Be patient. My
Seriously, by
friends.
the end of November, if we don't have a venue, we have a major problem, and we will figure that out. If whatever.
Just means Esk8 Con's canceled.
Yeah. It's not. Someone's gonna like clip that and then like post it on the internet.
That's gonna be is Esk8 Con canceled? No.
Oh, should we put that as the thumbnail? We'll get hella clicks, dude.
You gotta get all the way to the end of the episode. To
Oh
even
my god,
know what the hell that meant.
hella thumbs down.
God, where's Mark when you need him to offer a discount, a pizza discount?
All right, guys.
That's cool.
I appreciate you guys for watching. This is episode number 87, and we'll be back next week for episode 88. And then again, we have more videos coming out all week long. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one.
Have a good one, guys.
Yep.